So with possibly the biggest fight of the year right around the corner, everyone's getting excited for Ryan Garcia versus Javante Davis. This fight has been hyped up for the last 3 years, and with the last two press conferences happening, this fight seems more and more real. Okay, hold on before I talk on my reasons. Let's take a dive into the backstory of this fight really ever since Ryan Garcia came onto the boxing scene at a young age. He's always mentioned eventually wanting to fight Javante Davis as a super fight. This is when it started to get real after fighting and defeating Luke Campbell. Ryan started calling out Tank like crazy, and it was pretty much decided that Tank would be his next fight. He even soon went on a podcast with Mike Tyson and spoke crazy and confidently about wanting to fight Tank when Mike even faced on Javante, and Ryan came on saying he'll knock him out in 2 rounds, dancing around like crazy. He was pretty confident to say the least from there. The fight was pretty much made with Ryan and Tank posting posters on their Instagram now. This is where things start to get weird. Only a few weeks later, Ryan posted to his Instagram saying he's putting the Tank fight on hold because he's now fighting Manny Pacquiao on an exhibition fight. This was already weird enough, as exhibitions are kind of only a thing for retired fighters, and being only 22 at the time, this seemed odd.
Well, this fight never actually happened, and who knows if it was even real, as Manny had never spoke on it or even mentioned it. So could this all have been a facade to get out of the Tank fight? You would think that now the Pacquiao fight not happen anymore. Ryan would go back to his original plan of fighting Davis. But no, that's not what happened at all. In fact, Ryan went into boxing retirement saying he's taking a break from boxing to focus on his mental health. Fight was then dead in the water, with Javante carrying on with his career making fights. Ryan did not return to the ring for another year and 3 months, fighting a low-level fighter in Emmanuel Tago, and he really didn't put up a great performance. That could just be ring rust, as Ryan did look pretty good in his recent fight against Javier Fortuna, knocking him out in his usual fashion, and now we're only less than a month away from it being real. Okay, let's first off dive into the stats of these fighters. Ryan Garcia stands at a height of 5'10", while Javante is only 5'5", so an insane height difference. They're both undefeated fighters, as we know Javante with a record of 28 and 0-26 knockouts. So a knockout percentage of 93%, which is crazy for a lightweight. Ryan Garcia with a record of 23 and 0-19 KOs, so a KO percentage of 83%. But this is just a first glance on paper. But if we look deeper into the styles of these fighters, they're both obviously very explosive fighters with crazy knockout power. But we're going to dive in a bit further into this and come to a conclusion. First off, let's look into the resumes of these fighters the fighters Tank has beat and the way he's done it. I think he's fully earned his spot of being at the top of the sport, and rightfully so, on the pound-for-pound list. Whereas with Ryan, he's only fought 2 higher-level opponents to date. Campbell, we all know in his first step-up fight, he was dropped by Luke Campbell, someone who really isn't known to hit hard. It was only a flash knockdown, and he came back and knocked out Campbell, but this raises a big red flag on Ryan's defense, and Chin Tank has also definitely. This fight will be as competitive as people are making it to be. I think Ryan's style is perfectly suited for Tank, as we all know Tank's a very patient fighter who has a great ring IQ, waits for his opponents to make a mistake and exposes their flaws. Unfortunately for Ryan, he has a lot of flaws: his defense and his risky style with his chin in the air when he throws. His style kind of reminds me of Rolly Romero to an extent, who Tank dismantled as soon as he made a mistake, and honestly, I kind of see this fight going down the same way as that one. If we weigh up their boxing IQs, Tank definitely has the better, and I think will be too smart for him. Honestly, with all of Ryan's flaws, flat-footed, keeps his head on the center line against someone who waits on their opponent. It seems to me like a recipe for disaster. What have other boxing experts said about this fight? Even Canelo, someone who trained closely with Ryan in the past, thinks the Tank will beat him. Shakur Stevenson has also said he believes Javante is too clever for Ryan. I'm not canceling Ryan out completely with speed and power like that. He's obviously crazy talented, and I mean that kind of speed you really can't see it coming. But Javante is not Luke Campbell, he's not Fortuna. He's in a completely different league. Boxing is going back in the right direction if these fights actually get made. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash a thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more boxing related content like this, Make sure you subscribe for more. That'll be all from me, guys.